Man, I'm definitely never coming over now.
All right.
Stand.
All right. I think we got it set to go. But
That was too smooth, Dave.
this is the Beat Cops Guide. According to my computer, we are broadcasting live on YouTube and Facebook. So we're back after a couple weeks, and I am David Haynes, and that is Bull Garlington over there, and
Hello.
Smoke a Camel. All right. So what have you been doing? Well, since we've been off the last couple of weeks, let's give a brief explanation about why. Because it was entirely your fault. So.
Yeah. It's because I'm a double agent for Putin, and I was busy sowing dissent. I'm sorry. I got my calendars mixed up. And, no, I forgot. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're out because I went to the hospital.
Yes, because you had a little bit of a pain, and you scared the shit out of everybody, and went to the hospital. And
Yeah, man. Like, all right. I hate Facebook so much.
oh yeah.
All right, just give me half a second to find our damn page. Here we go.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I should do mine too. So.
Yeah,
but
let's
if you
take
are
this few
watching-
minutes when no one's listening.
Yeah, because we didn't say that this was going to be on, so we didn't, because we weren't actually sure until about 4 o'clock that we were going to do it. So
Nobody's gonna know we're on until we do a Facebook watch party, and then everyone's gonna wait, what?
yeah,
And it's taken forever for me to get into Facebook. I'm gonna give up on technology very, very soon.
why is it taking you?
Very,
is it,
very
is it your
soon.
Wi-Fi or is it?
I don't know.
See,
I don't know. No, my Wi-Fi is amazing. It's
share.
apparently you're in.
Yeah, but how do you start a watch party?
You got to find the video where it's live, and then it'll give you an option.
It gives me a share, but it's just like copy link. So.
This is it's so aggravating.
I don't know how to do a watch party.
There we go.
Oh, I hid the comments.
Let's see. So you got to find the video where the video is naturally in our feed. Okay, it is seriously taking a long time for all this.
Well, I have a couple people on ours, but for some reason I can't do the watch party. It's not giving the watch party option anymore. But I do have the comments up, and it's on our page. So, what are you gonna do? So you noticed right away that I'm
I
standing.
think maybe you picked the wrong instance of the video.
I did.
Yeah. Well, you might have. I know that when I pick the wrong instance of the video, I don't get an option to share. I only get an option, or I don't get an option to watch party. I only get an option to share. So.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, it's so slow. So it's called Back We're Back. But see, that's under the videos thing. You can't go to that one. You got to go to the one on the feed.
Oh.
Oh, it is taking so long. I feel like it's 1989.
Yeah, and everybody's listening.
I feel like I should be hearing a dial-up thing in the back.
You're just complaining about Facebook in the background. That's all the whole show is. But I don't see where our posts are.
Oh my effing god! So yeah, so I went to work out today for the first time in 90 days.
Wait. See,
and
hold on. That's not the topic we're starting with. All right, we're starting with.
I forgot. What are we starting with?
Okay. Last week we were off. We were off the last 2 weeks. The first week we were off because I was working 12 hours a day.
Oh yeah.
But last week we were off because you hurt your big toe and went to the emergency room and scared the shit out of everybody. So why don't you explain that a little bit? What happened? Or do you not want to talk about it? That's fine if you don't want to talk about it.
No, I don't mind. I don't care. I overshare. You know what
Well, that's what I figured.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Plus, it's a funny story, so I thought it would be fun to talk about. Oh shit! Just dropped my pipe tool.
So I about a month ago or so, our insurance asked us to change they seemed to ask us to change pharmacies. Turns out we read it wrong, and they were just saying, "Hey, you can also go to CVS." We thought they said you've got to move everything to CVS, and I was like, "Well, I now get to experience the joy of the CVS receipt." And I'm like, cool. So I went to CVS and I transferred everything over because I was about to re-up anyway. And I take like 5,000 medicines. So apparently, in the rush to do that, they did not get my blood pressure medicine. And at the same time, I completely forgot that I take blood pressure medicine. So I took my big giant garbage bag full of medicines home and started taking them every day, not even realizing that I didn't have any blood pressure medicine. It's really weird. Like, how do you not notice that? I don't take 5,000 medicines, by the way. I take just a few medicines. So I should notice if one's missing, right?
Right.
Didn't notice at all. So over the month, I noticed it actually might have been 2 months. I've been getting sluggish and tired, and I've been taking naps. And when I eat, like I fall asleep afterwards, and it's just weird. And finally, I can't even walk. I couldn't even walk like around the block. And so finally, on Friday, I was feeling great, and I was cooking and having a beer and dancing in the kitchen like I always do. And suddenly, I got this absolutely massive headache, as if somebody had taken my hat band and just cinched it really tight. And I have to tell somebody to do something. And so I told Colleen, I said, I do not know what's going on right now, but this is just intense. And so I was like, let's go take a walk. So we went. You know what? My blood pressure was 202 over 140 something.
Wow. So
I was edging around the rim of the volcano of strokes and heart attacks for sure. Like, I could definitely, and strokes happen in Mom's side of the family, which is the one that I take after. And so, man, I was like, we just happened to have our blood pressure cuff from many years ago, only because our house is completely discombobulated because we had that flood and we still haven't recovered yet. So I was like, well, I'll just take my blood pressure. So I took my blood pressure, and it was 1 billion over 1 billion. And I called my doctor. I'm like, I don't want to go into the emergency room because I'll die of COVID. And he goes, what's your blood pressure? And I said, it's 1 billion over 1 billion. He goes, go to the ER. And so I went to the ER, and I go in. No one can go with me, so I'm by myself like a crying little baby. And I go in there. I'm good at hospitals, right? Yeah. This is Friday, like 10:30 in the morning. And so I tell the nurse, I'm like, I have the worst headache ever. She goes, is it a migraine? I'm like, I don't know. I've never had a migraine, but I'm going to go with yes. And she goes, well, we can give you a headache cocktail. I'm like, that sounds awesome. Let me have a headache cocktail. So she comes in the giant needle. And she's putting it in.
Were you thinking tequila with a little vodka in it, or when you said cocktail?
No, I'm a sophisticated motherfucker, Dave. I knew it was going to be drugs. All right. What I forgot was I don't do drugs well. That's what I forgot. And so she comes in with this giant Frankenstein syringe, right? And it's just dripping with like a horse-sized dose of Benadryl and this other stuff that I don't remember the name of.
And you said, I'm not a brisket. You don't have to inject me. I'm not a turkey.
Yeah, really. Don't baste me, goddammit. And first of all, she's the greatest. She was the sweetest nurse. And she goes, this is blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. It's going to take care of your headache. But I got to tell you, because it bypasses the GI tract, sometimes it makes people a little anxious. I'm like, whatever, get it to me. Dude, I wanted to crawl out of my skin. I'm not lying. I have never felt that anxiety in my entire life. I made them dismiss me early. Imagine being so anxious that you talk them out of, you make them dismiss you. And I couldn't sit down. I couldn't lay down. I couldn't stand up. Nothing worked. And it lasted the entire weekend. You just lost your background.
I know. That's right.
So that's what happened to me. And I hope I never have to take that drug again because, I did not enjoy it.
What drug was it? You don't remember?
It's called like compazine or something. I can't remember what it is, but stay away from it. Not good.
Well, I
So
think
now I'm back on my blood pressure medicine, and my blood pressure is normal again. But because I'm Welsh, normal for me is in the low end of hypertension. Because I learned also this weekend that because I am surprisingly very, very Welsh genetically, I am prone to gout and to hypertension. So, yay.
did the doctor tell you that, or did you do one of those ancestry, whatchamacallits?
No, my hippie. I already knew about my heritage, and my hippie brother-in-law is like, "Well, Welsh people are prone to hypertension and gout," and I'm like, "Shut up! You don't know anything." And then I secretly Googled it on my phone, and lo and behold, it's like a historic, like it's really a big deal. Like 90% of the people in Wales have hypertension, and and it's genetic thing. So
Speaking of your hippie brother-in-law, my wife was watching a show called The Big C, and I didn't watch a whole lot of it. But there's one character in it who's like the homeless brother who actually lives in the front yard, and
oh
made me
my
think of your
god!
hippie brother-in-law
Wait,
living
what
in the
is
driveway.
the big C? What is the big C? What is that?
It's some show, and the mother, I guess, gets the first episode. The mother finds out she has cancer, and then it's like goes on from there. I don't
Oh, oh, it's not a reality show.
know. No, it's
Are you
Laura
like? Are
Linney.
you comfortable standing up?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's get to since we're done with the story of your stroke, fake stroke, whatever.
Stroke me, stroke me.
We'll get to the new thing because you were supposed to be here today, so I worked my ass off all weekend to get this ready. But you know what I should have done? I should have logged in on my
Glad
phone.
I could help.
What's that? Oh, you glad you didn't help? You froze up there for a
I
second.
said glad I could help.
Well, so I got a new table. I should have actually logged into the. I should have thought that. Well, when you get here, we'll do a Zoom meeting that we can show the table. So I bought a table, and it's a stand up. It goes up and down, stand up, sit down desk, and we can hook everything onto it. So there's only one wire that comes off the bottom that plugs in. Everything else is attached to this table. And so there's, it's on wheels. It can be moved around the room. Of course, I only have the background on this thing. So, but it can be out of the way. So if I'm doing something in my office, I don't have to have this in the middle of the room. Because what we had before was a table that we sat down at. And personally, I don't like the way I look when I'm sitting down because I tend to slouch when I'm sitting down and my belly tends to even look bigger. So the standing,
No, it doesn't.
our internet
No, it
is
doesn't.
unstable. But so, I mean, I know it looks big even when I'm standing up, but so I figured standing up would be better. So the camera is hooked up. Is actually I got a clamp that clamps it to the table. The lights are clamped to the table. The monitor is right here, so I can see you, and you're right next to where the camera is. And so kind of
Hey, no pointing.
so kind of when I'm looking at you, I can look at the camera at the same time. So. It was, it was built by a guy down in Wicker Park, who I'll name if he, pays for a commercial. We also have cup holders, but I broke the thing when I was bringing it in, so he's making me new clamps.
Whoa, 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 whoa. There's cup holders?
Yeah, hold on. You want to see?
I'm in.
See the cup holders right here, and they stick off the end of
Wait,
the.
they're like on an arm.
Yeah,
Wait, they're like Robo cup holders.
See, it clamps right onto the table. The whole thing's made out of PVC except for the tabletops, and so like everything can be clamped all over the place. I got wire holders, and these cup holders, they clamp onto one of the legs and they stick out, so it's like you can put your coffee cup, like this. Of course, I have a giant coffee cup right now, so that's not going to work. But anyway, when I was bringing it into the house, I broke the clamp. So all the clamps are 3D printed by this guy.
Weird.
Yeah. So he makes it with his 3D printer, and I thought it was really cool. So I went ahead and got it. It wasn't all that expensive either. So
The guy with the who and the what?
More expensive than, I'm not going to talk about him. I'm not going to tell you who he is for free. Let's go. Hey, we need some money. We need some revenue going here. He wants to make commercials. I'll make commercials for him. So, all right. I got a question for you. I'm working on my review for this week. And
your review, like for work, like I was a good boy,
no,
or
my restaurant review for going on Bob Surratt without you.
oh,
I thought, yeah. Usually there's a whole. Usually when I say that, there's a big long whining thing. So I went ahead and let my.
No, I'm done whining. I got cool stuff going on. I don't need your stupid radio show anymore.
Anyway, so I'm reviewing a restaurant called Wonder Burger down on the south side. So I was thinking, I found a popcorn place down in Markham. I was thinking about reviewing a popcorn place. What do you think? Do you think
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Usually I do a dessert and a restaurant. Popcorn's been in the news this week though, involving the police. So I don't know. It might be a little bit, but it's a
Hey,
good.
hang on. How is popcorn in the news involving police?
Well, with you know what, I'm not supposed to talk about because I don't speak for the police department. I only speak for myself. I don't talk about policy.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
We try not to do controversy and all that stuff. So you can look up popcorn
All right.
please and find out why it's there.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, is that going to get me into trouble because of it? And you should pay attention to the news because otherwise you would know what popcorn and please.
I can't watch the news anymore, man. I have high blood pressure.
All right, so wait, we do have some people watching though. Jimbo Diaz, a guy I grew up with. Wow.
Yeah, so there's so you're reviewing a popcorn place
And a burger place. And a burger place. Hey, okay, let's talk about what I reviewed last week because
yeah, because you got to do it backwards like that. Otherwise, you're previewing your show.
right, I don't want to do that. And so, like, there's this place right over here, right by our house. Well, not too far from our house. 4968 North Milwaukee. It's a place called E-Shell. E-Shell.
Never heard of it.
No, I know. And you know what?
My bill.
You've probably driven past
will.
it and never seen it. It's right on Milwaukee. You know where you if you're driving south on Milwaukee and you go over the expressway right by Jefferson Park L station, and then you hit the McDonald's. All right,
Yeah.
You just passed this place. It's directly next to the expressway, and it's a gelato.
Oh, that's
place.
where my lodge is at.
It's a block north of your lodge, right on the
Okay.
expressway. And they opened up at the end of last year. This year was supposed to be their big coming out, and of course with the COVID, they got screwed over, like everybody else. But they make homemade gelato, and I've taken the kids there. I've taken my wife there a couple of times. Somebody brought some over to the station during the protest, so that and we had phenomenal gelato. I had this toasted marshmallow that I just absolutely love, and everybody else seemed to like the grapefruit gelato more than the. But I don't know. I like the toasted. There's all kinds of different flavors though. So
What's the weirdest gelato that you saw there?
well, grapefruit to me, but I don't.
That is pretty weird.
I mean, they had hazelnut. I know my daughter got hazelnut. I don't remember anything that's really unusual. They also have those Mexican popsicles that I can't remember the name of, but I love them.
The ones that have cayenne pepper and tamarindo in them?
Yeah.
Oh my God, those things are delicious, man.
Yeah, they have those. They have what else do they got? They got
They're called tamarindos.
yeah, and they have those, and they make some gelato pops. Like you could. The first time I saw them was at Mariano's, but they make them. They're like popsicles, but made out of gelato, like ice cream bars, but gelato instead. So
We got to go there.
So I reviewed that place, and I reviewed what did I review? A place called the Dawson, which, by the way, you would probably, when you are allowed out of the house again, would probably want to go take your wife to. They have this beautiful patio. It's right at Grand and Halstead, right on the corner. And
Can you say the name again?
the Dawson?
Dawson?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I never heard of it.
Yeah, and it was interesting because this all right, it's a beautiful restaurant. They have a beautiful patio. And you sit outside. We actually sat there when we walked in. They were like, there's rain in the forecast, and if you sit down, we can pack everything to go, but the weather's whatever. But they had some umbrellas out there. We ended up sitting under an umbrella and stayed there the whole time. So it was great. And so the Dawson is built on the site of it's a place that used to make fireplace mantles back in the 1800s. And
That's just a okay. That's a weird thing because that's one of those lost manufacturing
right
industries.
Yeah, I actually never heard
Mantles.
of it. I mean, I knew they did it, but I actually thought that when you when they built the house and they built the fireplace, they just built the mantle and that's what you got. I didn't realize that there was fabricators that you can come and change your mantle afterward because the only fireplace I have sticks on a wall. We don't have a mantle, so it's the first one I've ever had. So they used to make fireplace mantles. So I thought it was interesting. The guy who runs it, his name is Billy Lawless. No relation to Xena the Warrior Princess, I asked. But
I mean, not that he claims.
No.
All right. I mean, he's
wasn't.
probably his sister, but he's like, no, I don't know her.
Hey, if I had that name, I would have said, yeah. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm related to her.
Yeah.
But I went. He's telling me about this Dawson Brothers Fireplace Mantle Company and how, and the way he uses it. Oh, they were known for their craftsmanship the nation over, and so we try to apply that same craftsmanship to the food that we serve. It was a kind of a little thing. It was,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. That's cool.
Yeah, I know. He's using it. So I went home and looked up the Dawson Fireplace Mantle people to see if they were still around, to see if the mantles are still around. I know the company's not. And you can buy these mantles, 100 years old. They're like thousands of dollars. They're still out there. You can buy a reclaimed mantle from when they tear down the house. They save the mantle and sell it.
Wow.
So, it was
Yet another niche business.
Yeah.
Yet you and I can't make a damn dime. And there's
make
some
a
guy out there selling reclaimed, not just reclaimed fireplace mantles, but a specific brand. That's all he does is just Dawson fireplace mantles. That guy's probably living like the coolest life. Probably lives in like some crazy Michigan 3-level house on the lake with like glass walls. Yeah. Son of a bitch.
Anyway, but
Tell everybody when your show is on next week.
Wait, hold on. I didn't even get to the food yet. That's just talking about the place itself.
Okay.
And they had a really nice outdoor bar, and we sat at the end of the bar underneath an umbrella. So it was kind of misty, raining, and we're sitting outside, and the waiters and waitresses are walking through and serving everybody, and we're just watching.
Set the mood, Dave. Why don't you set the mood, man? Yeah.
And I had
I'll play some background music while you talk, okay? Boom. Boom.
So
You go ahead and talk.
I can't. It's a Zoom meeting.
Sorry.
If you were here, you could do that, but
Yeah,
your wife
I
won't let you out of the house. So,
And that's one way to say it.
all right, wait. All right, I'm sorry. Before I get to the food, all right, we haven't talked about the food at the Dawson, but I have to get back to a part of the story of your illness that you left out. While you were at the hospital, your son threw all the food away. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
You know what?
We're on food. It brought it back to me, so we're going back to that story. So your son decided that he had to take your health in hand as a boy becomes a man and decides he's got to take care of his father. So he threw away all your shit.
Everything. He threw away all the good stuff. Everything that's. And here's the sad thing, right? Yeah, okay, my blood pressure's bad, but it's kind of genetic. It's not based on my diet or anything. And yeah, maybe a little bit because I'm fat. But like I'm losing weight right now. All right. And I got this new thing going on. It's a long story, but it's very successful. And so I'm really happy with the way things are going. And I started my gym up today again, finally. And I come back from the hospital after having the worst experience of my life. And there's nothing to eat because my son went on a tear through the house and threw every fucking thing away that was in there. Okay. The upside of that, he loves me.
Yeah,
so
right. That's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, he loves me. But the downside of it is I had to search in my secret stash to get some chocolate last night.
Yeah. See, I think my kids, if there was something that was affecting my health diet-wise, that they would be buying me more of it. So, yeah, here's some ice cream, Dad. Hey, by the way, where's the paperwork on the
made out of
insurance
bacon
policy?
fat. Yeah.
Where's that
Hey,
insurance
Dad.
policy paperwork?
Have some of this bacon fat ice cream made with bourbon and codrivedrazine. Try it out, Dad.
Here, lidocaine. It's good for you. It's good for you.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, so let's
Oxycontin candy.
Meanwhile, back at the Dawson. So we'll go back to the Dawson at Grand and Central. I had this barbecue corned beef sandwich that was great, and I was trying to explain this.
Just shut up, Dave. Just, God damn it! I'm eating vegan rice, and you're having a fucking barbecued brisket. You son of a bitch.
Hey, speaking of brisket,
Oh,
you're welcome to come over on Sunday for Father's Day. I'm doing a brisket in my brand new smoker. So,
I will celebrate Father's Day in perfect silence and darkness, as I always do.
but so I had this barbecue corned beef sandwich, and it's really good. And I was trying to explain this on the radio last week. You know, it's not that I don't ever have it. I just don't remember it the last time I've had it. Every time I eat corned beef, either like Manny style, like sandwich corned beef, or like Irish style, like, corned beef and cabbage. I don't really remember the last time I had it barbecued. And it was...
That's the only way, man.
Well, I mean, I like corned beef. I like corned beef hash. I like corned beef. Anything corned beef I like. So this was a very interesting way of having it, though. It had a very light barbecue sauce on it. It had a grilled flavor. It was really good. They also had a pickle and some coleslaw on the sandwich, which I thought was interesting. I don't usually do that.
Fucking pickle?
Yeah, and what else do we have? So, and they did the fries. You know what? I love going to a place that really does French fries the right way, like the crispy on the outside, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, and what do you call it? Soft on the inside. So that's great. And my wife had a lamb kebab, which is
Oh man, this is right up Colleen's alley, man.
yeah, and they don't have a huge menu. They only have like 10 or 12 items. Their thinking is, according to Billy Lawless, who's not related to Xena Warrior Princess,
No, of course not.
is that they're going to get several things right as opposed to having a huge menu and do it. Which, lamb is hard to get right. I've probably gone out. I love lamb, and my stepmother and my
Poor little baby sheep.
my uncle, they make it for Greek Easter and stuff. So I mean, I've had lamb perfect lamb, but about half the time when I go out to restaurants, they don't get it right, And so this place, they got it really good. They had mint leaves in it. It was really good. So that's
I had some cauliflower rice and a cucumber and water today, and I got to tell you, it was. Ugh.
Well, sucks to be you, I guess. What are you gonna do?
Well, today was my first day back at the gym, and naturally, I screwed it all up.
Well,
I've been trying so hard. Have you met me? I mean, come on, man. So first of all, I don't know. I think that like I don't know. Mercury was in the house of go to hell last night because I could not sleep for nothing. I was up till 3 a.m. just staring at the ceiling, like, when am I going to fall asleep? And then at like 7 o'clock in the morning, my daughter called, and she was gonna murder kill her, I swear. And so then I couldn't get back to sleep, and so I'm like, well, this sucks. So I got up and I did my work, and I had a Zoom meeting with a client, and I did my other thing I had to do, and then and it was my first day back at the gym, and my client meeting went short, and I'm like, I can get in a 30-minute nap. So I got in a 45-minute nap, and I had like maybe 20 minutes to get a shower and get my stuff and get there on time. But I'm like, this is not going to be a big deal because they're not really open. They're only open for personal training, so there'll be plenty of parking. That is a lie.
Well,
and I had to circle that up. No, it's not really at the hospital. It's next to the hospital, and it's got its own separate stuff, And so okay, it's old man complaining part. I had to circle like 1,000 times. And finally I had to park about a half a mile away by like a track and walk back to the gym. And I used up my entire 30-minute personal training thing. I got there with 10 minutes to spare. And then I had to go through COVID entrance exam. And I finally got up there. I had 8 minutes left. Right. And I was sweating buckets because I had to walk so far.
All right, wait. This is a good place to stop and ask some questions based on the story you just gave. First of all, you take a nap and a shower before you go to work out? I mean, that's different than the way I
Well,
do it. Oh,
yeah, well, I mean, I hadn't showered yet that day, and I didn't want to go to the gym first time in 90 days and be all funky, you know?
but you're going to leave the gym being all funky. You have to take another shower afterward.
Well, yeah, but like, you know, this guy's like a professional personal trainer. I don't
You're
want
not
to
gonna
show up
hug him.
gross.
I mean, it's like he's not going to.
Hey, you don't know how I work out, all right? That's the first thing you do with your personal trainer is you do bear hugs, right?
I mean,
And then he turns me.
He's going to get close enough
All
to
right,
smell
all right.
your pits. I mean, you know. Go
Just
ahead.
shut up for a second and let me explain what a good workout is. You show up, you do bear hugs, all right? Then he spins you around and does coochie coos, all right, for like 20 coochie coos. And then it's butt grabs, all right? And then you bear hug a little bit more. I mean, that's how you work out, Dave.
Well, I think you're doing it wrong.
I only had 8 minutes. But even then, with those 8 minutes, he kicked my ass up one side of the room and down the other. And it was like I walked in and said, "Hey, and then I walked out, and I had to walk the half mile back. I got all my steps in today, just walking to the freaking gym. It was ridiculous, man.
Well, that's a workout in the days of Chris. Remember, we used to have that. We used to have that when we were on the radio. We had that. Me and Matt would ask you about a day in the life of Chris because that was when you were a stay-at-home dad. We should play that. One
Fuck
time.
you guys, man.
We should
Fuck
have. We
you
should
guys.
have. We should have Matt on now that we got Zoom meetings going. We should find out what he's doing.
He used to play that song, the Pastoral Suite, where it goes da 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 da. You know, it's like the curtains are opening and you're looking into the perfect 1950s home, and there I am with a water pick shoved up my ass. You know, it's those are the days.
Yeah. All right. So
Now I'm living the perfect old man life, man. I don't have any responsibilities really, except I have to cook supper every day. And I just walk my dog and I stare at my garden. My garden, okay, I planted a garden, all right?
flowers or vegetables?
Vegetables. And I have this cool keyhole garden with a built-in composter that feeds the whole garden when I compost. And it's got, like, I scienced the dirt, so it's got perfect soil. I added 20,000 redworms to it, so it's got like a whole industry going through there. And then the other day, I had the sprinkler guy come out to turn our automatic sprinklers on, you know, because why should I hold a hose? And he goes, hey, you garden, huh? And I'm standing at the garden. I'm like, yeah, very observant, buddy. And he goes, you know, you got a unused sprinkler head right here. He goes, you want me to turn it into a garden sprinkler? And I was like, oh, hell yeah. So I don't even have to water my garden. It's an automatic. I have an automatic garden. I don't have to do anything. I just go out every morning and look at it. It's all finished. I just stare at it and go, like everything's growing.
What do you put in your composting? And is it one of those barrels that you spin every day or something?
No, dude. So imagine a square horseshoe, okay? And that's my garden, except in the center of it, all right? It's a compost bin that's open on three sides. It's lattice on three sides that's where the garden soil. It's a raised bed. So the soil is up against the lattice on those three sides. And I just throw everything into the bin, and as it composts, it just leaches out into the soil. So I put food scraps and coffee, and you know, I actually, when I shred documents, I take them out there and I put them in the composter.
So if anybody's looking for those military secrets that Chris has been hanging out with, hey,
Yeah.
do you throw eggshells in there?
No, I don't throw eggshells or anything like that because I live too close to the forest preserve. And that's just asking for it. Was already bad enough the other day. I put old apples in there, and that was a big mistake.
Yeah, we had a
'Cause
deer walking down our street the other day. One of my neighbors caught it on his camera.
Because the fucking world's ending, Dave. It's crazy out there.
I live like 10 blocks away from the forest preserve, so I don't know where they came from.
Yeah, you're like, that's nuts. You know, we usually have a really terrible skunk problem and raccoon problem. I got to tell you, I haven't seen a single skunk or raccoon, but I've seen a lot of foxes and a couple of coyotes. And I think those coyotes and foxes are like, hey, what happened, Chili's? What happened, Buffalo Wild Wings? We depend on your dumpsters to feed us. They're part of our ecological system now. I got to go eat a skunk now, you sons of bitches. Have you ever eaten a skunk? It's disgusting. but that's what I think is
You're seeing
happening.
a lot of foxes and a lot of coyotes around your neighborhood, but the cougars that used to hang out at Buffalo Wild Wings are all gone.
Yeah. Well, that's because you guys shot them all. So
Hey, but I hear theaters are supposed to open up next month. Movie theaters.
I'm sorry, what?
Movie theaters. And you know what else? The Mercury Theater is closing permanently, which really breaks my heart. That's right next to the Music Box Theater. I saw, what's the last one I saw there? Spam-A-Lot. They did a Spam-A-Lot that was fantastic.
Wait, where's the Mercury at?
Right next to the Music Box Theater on Southport. It's a playhouse, not a movie theater. And it's kind of like a lower version of Steppenwolf. You know, they have like a whole crew, and you know they have all the
Oh, right. They're closed permanently?
yeah. They can't afford the COVID
You know what?
virus.
Once the California Clipper closed, I just quit caring anymore. I mean, that was my bar, man. And now I got nowhere. I'm gonna go to Buffalo Wild Wings like a fucking suburban loser. I no longer have a cool bar to go to.
Well, they opened up another one next to. They changed Tilted Kilt is now the Village Roadhouse. So
Is okay? You don't even live in my neighborhood. How do you know the shit that's going on in my neighborhood?
I review restaurants on WGN at 5:30 in the morning. I bought the show.
Hey, I'm so sorry. I forgot that you're a reviewer. I'm sorry. Forks over knives, yes.
But they took it's the same owners, but they made it more family friendly so that you wouldn't feel like a perv when you went there. Because I know how you were. You felt like a dirty old man.
I'm never going back then, man. It was bad.
You felt like a dirty old man when you went in there. So did I.
I did. It was terrible. And listen, let me tell you something. I went in there because I was starving. All right. My wife was out of town. None of my kids were home. I was like, I'm not going to cook. I'm going to let somebody else do this. And so it took me forever to decide where to go. And finally, I was like, I'm just going to go to Buffalo Wild Wings like I always do. And it was packed. I couldn't get in. I'm like, I'm going to die on this sidewalk if I don't eat. So I'm like, Dave said that place is okay. And I went in Tilted Kilt. And dude, it is. I think they're breaking some laws. I really do. I mean, those girls were poorly clothed. All right. They must have been
It
cold.
must have been cold, yeah.
And
I actually took
yeah,
my wife
I
there the
think-
first time I went. And
how do you do
waitress
that?
is
How do
walking
you-
by, and I'm looking at my wife goes, hey, that's somebody's daughter. And I go, mine. Not mine.
Yeah, who is it? What woman? Yeah, what woman isn't somebody's daughter? You should have looked at her and said, "Yes, so are you." You know, I remember in Springfield a couple of years ago, a bunch of us were trying to find. We were all down there for a conference. We're like, we need to find a place to eat. But if you've ever been to Springfield, you know there aren't any places to eat. They're all full of the other guys that went there before you. So we ended up going to Hooters, and I forgot. All right, so we got there. I was like, crap. Hooters. And then we went inside and there were people with families at Hooters.
I remember taking my son there. Me and my partner took him when we were in 15, and he must have been 4 years old, 5 years old. And we got a great picture of Nate surrounded by the Hooters girls, all leaning over and hugging him.
Oh, my
He's got a
God.
big smile on his face.
You should turn that into a black velvet
I
painting,
can't
man.
find a picture. I think
That needs to be a black velvet painting. Make it up. Make it up. You didn't know any of those girls anyway. You know, but is that how our dads did it? I mean, how did your dad do that for you?
But I didn't have a Hooters. I don't remember. I don't remember any of that stuff. I mean, I remember my dad when I was 13, 14 years old. We'd be going somewhere, and my dad would go, hey, look at that. She's cute. Look at her. She's cute. Stuff like that, And I'd be like, all right, old man.
Never took you to like a strip joint or anything?
No, nothing like that. Although he did say once when I was about 16 he was going to, but he never did. And my uncle, though, had talked about Mustang Ranch, but my dad never did. He was like, I ain't doing that. His mother would kill me. My mother had a gun.
Well,
so,
not a lot of people know that you were born in New Orleans. You were born in New Orleans, right?
No. I was born here in Chicago. My grandfather's from New Orleans, but he moved here
Oh.
when my dad was born here. So he moved here and married my grandmother and then had my dad. So
Well, I mentioned New Orleans because my dad took me to see my first real life naked women in New Orleans when I was 13. And we went to a place called the something pony show. I forget. All right. And and he looks at the guy. There's always a barker outside, like, hey, come on in, and like, no, not the kid. And my dad is like, slipped him a couple of bucks and just let him stand in the door. And so the guy goes, all right, come here, kid. And I stood in the door, and there they were, man, on top of pool tables, just naked as the day they were born. And I was like, oh my God. And there were 4 or 5 of them, and they were, again, on pool tables. So like really easy to see. And that was, they were beautiful. I mean, they were really, really, really beautiful. My dad and my uncle were cracking up at the door. Even the door manager was kind of laughing. And like the bartender saw me, and I saw him grin really big and kind of chuckle. I'm like, what's so fucking funny? And so the guy goes, okay, kid, get out of here. So we're walking around the quarter, me and my dad and my uncle, and they just can't stop laughing, right? And this is the 70s. So there's just pervy, dirty stuff everywhere. It was New Orleans in the 70s, man, and not family friendly. And they would never take. Years later, I was like, Dad, you remember that time? It took me to the place in the quarter, and he started laughing again. He goes, yeah, those were dudes. The first naked women I saw, who I looked at and thought, oh yeah, that's what I want, were guys.
I actually remember. I remember going to court with my dad when he had me for the day when after the divorce, and he had to go to court for a couple hours, so I went with him. And I remember the same kind of thing, these beautiful women walking into the courtroom, and I'm looking at him, and my dad's like, hey, stop it, those are guys. Don't look at those. But
you need to learn. Look for the Adam's apple, kid.
Now there was a guy watching, I don't know if he's still on, Jimbo Diaz, who grew up with me in my neighborhood. I can't remember if it was him or Eddie Bubert, were the first guys whose fathers had Playboy collections and who used to be able to steal them and show them. I can't remember if it was him or Eddie, but they were the
we have to stop talking about dirty stuff. One of my old employees is here.
Oh, okay. Dirty stuff.
One of my former employees just started watching this, and she's super cool and very classy. So we have to start talking about real stuff. So anyway, what I think about the Greek classics is that I really feel that Phaedra is a metaphor for lawn mowing.
Well, let me tell you about Greek.
I feel that yeah, it's all Greek mythology. It's all Greek to me. So
it's funny that you could turn anything into being dirty these days. I still remember you once. You once told me that any idea you can come up with, not only can you make it dirty, there's already a site devoted to it on the web.
There's already a porn for it. And it's not just that it's already there. There's already thousands and thousands. It's an industry already, And I thought this was not true until somebody was like, really? Let's just make something up. What about, I don't know, balloon crushing? I'm like, that's the stupidest thing. Oh,
all right, let's finish on this because we're going off on wild tangents. So let me just go off on one final wild
tangent. That's our job. That's our job is to go off on wild tangents.
We'll finish this. Last night I'm watching TV, and I don't watch regular TV very often. So I've Law and Order, I think I was watching or something. But anyway, there was a commercial come on for Geico Insurance. And I don't understand why this would sell insurance, but there's a bunch of kids playing Marco Polo in the pool. And then there's actually Marco Polo in the pool who doesn't understand why everybody's saying Marco Polo. And he goes, right here, Marco Polo, right? You know what I mean? Have you seen this commercial?
No, but that's a stupid idea for a commercial.
All right.
Was it funny?
It was funny. It was funny because the guy who played Marco Polo looked really confused and he didn't speak English. He's like, Marco Polo. And then as he sort of understood it, and I think the whole point was that you understand that the commercial is great. But here's the thing. I'm watching this commercial, and I'm like, all right, I guess I could see how it would be an entertaining way to sell insurance. But what I didn't understand, standing right outside the pool, is a llama. Nobody makes any reference to the llama. The llama doesn't have anything to do with the story. It's not like Marco Polo rode a llama through China. So what's the llama doing? And I mean, it's been sticking with me since last night.
That's South America. That's South America. That's not even on the right continent. They don't have llamas in China. What the hell, man?
So I don't understand what the llama is for.
Oh my God, Dave! We should write a letter of complaint
about the blatant blatant use of llama and
llamaism. Llama, and it's called. We title it. The hashtag is Llama Drama, and
if,
we just have to get the whole world on board, man.
if anybody knows what the hell the point of the llama and the Marco Polo Geico commercial was, if you can just put it on our Facebook page, on our YouTube, that would be nice. And by the way, for you people watching this on Facebook, watching on YouTube so we get some money.
We wait. You and I were both publicly schooled, though, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we don't know what the llamas for because we went to public school. Maybe there's a whole thing with Christopher Columbus and llamas, and everyone watching us who went to private school, which is nobody, is going, "Oh my God, you guys don't know about the llama and Christopher Columbus? My God,
It's
what
Marco
savages!
Polo.
You dog,
You can't even remember
whoever.
5
I don't
seconds
know.
ago.
I don't know history. All right, all right. We got to get out of here because I got to go
Yeah.
feed my family.
Yeah, this is supposed to be our
Don't know how to
short
put
one,
things
too.
in bowls.
So we'll be
Yeah,
back
well,
Friday night
yeah.
this time, right? We're going to do Friday night.
Yeah.
All right, so Friday
Yeah.
night we'll be here, and maybe we will be in the same room, possibly. So,
Possibly.
join us. And if you're watching on Facebook, please subscribe on YouTube. That'll help us out a lot.
Say
I'll
nice
probably-
things to us.
Yeah, and I'll post this on Spotify and everything. So tell everybody.
Hi,
else to listen.
Shayna.
All right.
Hi, Joel. What's up, Nemo? All right, we're out.